Yo, what's going on, guys? Frankietrades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. At 1130 subs right now, the channel's still growing day by day, which is pretty awesome, guys. Thank you for the support, and I'll keep bringing you guys these bangers every Sunday. So, going into the watch list for this week, though, tech earnings are right around the corner. We can see that Netflix reported last week, didn't do too well, and then now we have Spotify. Stocks like Tesla, Google, actually, which is a big one. Those two are probably the biggest ones for this week. We got Chipotle. Now that that's split, it's going to be pretty important to see where that takes off after here. We got Visa, a bunch of bank, credit card companies. That'll be pretty important to see where the credit's at with the economy and, what the debt to consumer is on that. So those are probably the biggest ones I'll be watching. Just to keep an eye out for. Tesla and Google for sure are going to be the biggest ones. I won't be watching them for this week just because of earnings purposes. It's just not really worth it, It's better just to wait for the after earnings move. If you're looking to play any earnings, it's just straight up gambling. Just better to save your money on the side and catch an after earnings move on that. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list here. First things first is, you guys know I like to cover ES and NQ here. As far as ES and NQ, you guys know, of course, that we did get the sell-off got a pretty decent sell-off this entire week besides just making highs, which is something new for the market that we haven't seen in a bit. It's something new. A lot of people aren't used to this, and a lot of people have been getting caught that I've been seeing online, getting caught in some red trades, not as consistent, and that's part of the game, right? When it comes to the market making highs, things tend to be a little bit easier, and then when it comes to the downside, it can be just as easy if you're experienced, right? And you need to be ready for these days to come by, right? So going into this week for ES, I am looking at the 5510 level. You can see here on the chart, and then after that 5500, and then we have that gap at 5490 down to 5438 after the contracts for futures updated. So that is what I'm looking at for ES. And then going into NQ here, if my chart likes to load here, really it's the same idea. There is no gap on this, but as far as the downside goes, that's what I'm going to be primarily focused on, just because the upside is really, really far away from anything that's pretty irrelevant to us. So for the meantime, I'll be focused at 19700 and then 19500 levels on NQ. Don't have any important trend lines there for you guys to really keep an eye out for, which is pretty nice. So it's really just dependent on the market and where tech earnings can lead us going into these next probably a month or so, with how our tech stocks are pretty spread out now. So that's going to be pretty important to keep an eye out for. So, and then of course your guys' favorite part is the actual main watch list here. So first things first is going to be AVGO. I ended up taking this. It was a pretty nice 10 to 15% scalp. Wasn't anything crazy, but pre-split AVGO hasn't been too bad as of recently. The only trade I've taken it on it was the 155 breakdown that has around a $5 gap. So really, all this is really a gap continuation play for an inverse, or not an inverse H, sorry, for an H or your bear flag, whatever you guys want to call it. It's the same thing. But I'm looking at the 154 level with room down to 150 with the gap we have still there on the downside. So that is what I got on AVGO. And then as far as what else I got on the main watch list is Coin. And this next stock will probably be our number one, like, on the radar stocks. So as far as Coin goes, it is a really simple, just flat out setup. All I'm looking at for on this is the 264 level. I'll take off my alert right there for you guys, but you can see that we have a flat top across 264, triple top, flat top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call it. It's a flat top to me. So what I'm really looking for is crypto's been pretty strong. Not sure how crypto's really doing right now. I don't really keep a close eye on it. Sorry. And I'm going to see how this is moving tomorrow. This doesn't have earnings for another 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. So we still have a lot of time to play this. But this will be a main watch for sure, that we, just because based on the crypto strength that we've had recently, especially on Friday, this has to be something on everybody's watch for sure. So the only thing is be careful with the spreads. Spreads are pretty brutal on Coin. A lot of people hate Coin. I tend to like it now that I understand the stock a little bit more now. So this is going to be one that's going to be on watch for sure. Next up is going to be SMCI as far as the main watch list goes. As far as SMCI goes, not focusing on the upside. Of course, we've been getting a sell-off, which is pretty cool. We do have a gap to the upside. Whenever we do decide to get up there, we have it at, 863 all the way up to 877. Not really focused on that, though, as you guys know, with where the market's currently heading. That's where I'm going to be focused on most of my setups. Coin's one of the few exceptions, But As far as SMCI goes, I'm going to be looking at this 774 level with room down to 770 as its own trade. And then the next level I'll be watching is this 755 flat bottom. Of course, you know, if you're more of a day trader, you could treat this more as a day trade. Me as a scalper, I'm going to take this as two separate trades. So from 774, the double bottom that we have currently right there, and then the one we have at 755 with room down to 750 after that. So it's a pretty big setup. I like how everything's looking right here. We are breaking this trend line on the 4 hour. We are already breaking it. Of course, we wicked above it, so we didn't really close below it, but it's still something to keep an eye out for this chart. So. And then as far as any side watch list goes, I really don't have too much going on. Really, the only setup that I genuinely like is AMD. And really AMD, only thing here is we caught the consolidation break on Friday. Me and George, who's a trader or intern, as we like to call it in our Stock Hours Discord group, we both happened to call it out and pretty much not signal it, but give our exact entry where like our alert is going to be at. And we ended up catching around, I think it was around 20 to 30% on this play. I happened to get in and out pretty quickly. It happened to reject, so I'm glad I got out of that. But for a Friday, you know, wasn't looking for too much on that. But really with AMD, now that we broke that consolidation at 153, even with the market dropping, it's going to be important to see if AMD is following along with the market. If it broke the consolidation because it was doing its own thing, that's going to be important going into this week and going into this 150 level, but that's why it's a side watch. It's not really too big of a crazy setup. It is a pretty choppy area, as you can see back here. So it's going to be important to see where this is headed as well, along with the other chip stocks. So as far as the other chip stocks go, I really don't have anything like NVIDIA, MU, those kind of stocks. I really don't have anything that I am a big fan of. So, but yeah, pretty short watch list, guys. Not too much going on. But as far as coin and SMCI, those are going to be the key setups for the week. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. The channel's growing day by day. Never thought this would happen, but you know, it's all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. So, without much more being said, hope you guys enjoy the weekend and have a good week. So, peace out.